Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel Deep's Coding Tutorial. So today we are going to learn about the operators in JavaScript. So today's our operator is the comparison operator. I have taken the operators a small description of the operators in small videos so that you can understand thoroughly what the operators are, and this would be the very easily understand to any people, like any kids as well. So now when we are looking after the comparison operator, so before going to the comparison operators, I want to tell you that please like and share and subscribe my channel, share to your friends like how the JavaScript works out, how the JavaScript operators are, and many other things. So also I am going to bring new upcoming videos in which we'll be learning about the loops and many more things. So now let's check with the comparison operator. Now the comparison operators are used in the logical statements, if or if else statements, or also in the conditional statements wherever we are checking some condition. So we are determining the equality or the difference between the variables or the values. In this example, like we are checking x is equal to 5, and so according to that we have whatever comparing with it with the other values. So let's check with that table. So in this first one is the equal to. Now here x is equal to 8. So whenever we are using the comparison operator, the result should be the boolean variables or boolean things, like x is equal to 8. So this will be returns us the false because x is 5. So x is 5 is returning true. Similarly, equal value and the equal type. In here x is equal value and equal type in 5. Here 5 is not the number, because here it is put in the double quotes, or so it is the string. So x is 5, that is true, but x is not the string 5, so it is false. So here we are doing that, we are checking whether the value is the same as well as the data type of that particular variable is also should be the same. So in this second case, x is equal to 5, yes, that is true. Not equal, so it is just like not equal. Whether x is not equal to 8, yeah, that is true. And not equal value or not equal type. So in this case, x is not equal to the string 5, so that is true. X is not equal to 5, that is false, because x is number as well as the value of x is 5. So the type and the value is the 5. Number 5. In this it is the greater than, x is greater than 8, no, that is false. X is 5, so it should not be greater than 8. X is less than 8, that's true. X is greater than or equal to 8, no, x is 5, so it is not greater than or equal to 8, that is false. And in this case, less than or equal to, then 5 is less than or equal to 8, yes, that is. Okay. Before checking to the how we can do it practically, I'll just have some key points for the operators of comparison operators. Comparison operators returns a boolean value. Yeah, we just saw that it's a true or a false. Strings are compared letter by letter in the dictionary order, like if it is in ABCD order, like some dictionary order. Which values of different types are compared? When values of different types are compared, they get converted to numbers with inclusion of strict equality check. So we have already seen here, like we are checking here a string with the x value is number. So we are checking the type, whether it's a number data type or the string data type. Similarly, here we have null and undefined values also. So if it is not equal any other value, so we have to check whether that values are null or undefined values as well. We have to check those things as well. Be careful when using comparison like less than, greater than or less than with variables that can occasionally be null, undefined. Checking for null, undefined separate is a good idea. So whenever we are checking any values, equal with something equal to null, if we are checking, then it is very easy to do the programs. But while we are checking the comparison for the null and undefined, we can't use less than or greater than sign. So we need to be very careful. for those things. The type of operator allows us to see which type is stored in a variable. So we have to check what type is stored in a variable. Two forms, that is type of X or type of X. These are two forms. So this is another operator which tells you what type of X is, whether it is a number data type or the variable means what kind of variable it is. Is it a string, number, null or undefined? Returns a string with the name of the type like string. So whenever we get the value for this, what would be the return type for this? Type of X would be, if it is now in our example X is 5, so it would be returning the number. If X is a string, it will be returning the string. For null returns object, this is an error in the language. It's not actually an object. So if for null it returns an object, but this is not so much required for now. Just remember that these are the operators which are very useful while doing any kind of operations or while checking any kind of conditions. So here when we are doing the comparison operators, we are checking some or the other particular condition for that particular value. So whenever we are checking the value for that age related, or maybe when we are checking some particular condition, like if X is greater than 5, then do this particular steps, else do the another steps. In that case, we are using the comparison operator. So let's see the practical. Okay, now so let's see another one example for the comparison operator. Here we have X and Y as the two variables. Now we have to be very careful while when we are using the var keyword, the answers are different. While we are using the let keyword, the answers are different. Sometimes let like if we'll see here, like what we can see, like we are checking here, like X is less than Y. Is that true? X is less than Y? No, it is. So it will give you false. So please check accordingly what would be the values for that particular given result. If X is greater than Y, yeah, X is greater than Y, that's true. X is equal to Y, no, that is false. Now here X is strictly equal to string Y or the string 10, no, it is not, because our X is not it is the number 10, but it's not the string type of number, so it should be false. In case of console.log, X is not equal to 5. Whether it is not equal to 5? Yes, X is not equal to 5. That is true. Now let's see if X is not equal to this dollar inverted commas 10. That means it is a string. So it should not be the string. So that is true. That it's not the string. And so whenever we are using this double equal or the single equal, like double equal, it will tell you that the type should not be also same, or means now here 10 is the number, means X value is the 10, not it's the number, not the string value. So this will tell you that X is equal to 10 and is not matching with X is equal to inverted commas or inverted quotes 10. Similarly, if X is less than or equal to Y, that's false. And next is X is greater than or equal to Y. Yes, that's correct. So that's all. Just check on the console. There you go. You can see on the console all that is printed. So in most of the time, whenever we are using Visual Studio Code and when we run the program, we can see those things in our output console in the Visual Studio Code also. This we are seeing so that we could understand how the how the browser looks like in the console.log. We can use the alert windows as well. Okay, thank you. So after learning the operators, after learning the data types, after learning the variables, what the variables are, so we are just looking into what are the some different windows we are using. Like there are some windows like alert, it shows a message. I mean window means when we open our browser, we get one window, like a small window, whether you want to save this password, whether you want to do some any kind of operation, or whether you want to stay on this paper page, or whether you want to do some another things, any kind of a message. So it's like an alert window, we say like an alert page. Next is the prompt. It shows a message asking the user to input text. So whenever we want to return the text, or if we cancel the button or escape is click null, something is doing. Like when we want to go for navigate to some another page and we have to put the user name and the password, or we want to do return the text for particular for navigating to the next page on the website. So at that time we use the prompt. What is the confirm? Shows a message and waits for the user to press OK or cancel. So there is one one window popping up, like telling you, oh, so you have entered the username and password and all, and now whether you want to proceed further, OK or cancel, whether you want to, it's like confirming whether you want to it shows you yes, is that OK or cancel. So the user has to wait to press OK so that he can proceed to the further pages of the website. This is all what we do. This is the pop-up windows, we can see. It shows the message. All these methods are modern. They pause script execution and don't allow the visitor to interact with the rest of the page until the window has been dismissed. There are two limitations shared by all the methods above. The exact location of the model window is determined by the browser. Usually it is in the center. Correct. Whenever you see the alert window, it comes around near to the tab, wherever you have the browser tab. Prompt window also, and the confirm comes in center. The exact look of the window also depends on the browser. We cannot modify it. Yes, we can't modify it. It's always by default with that particular browser. This is the price for simplicity. There are other ways to show nicer windows and richer interaction with the visitor, but if bells and whistles do not matter much, these methods work just fine. So this why we are using these windows or the pop-ups. So this will tell you how we are interacting with our browser. Whenever we have some alert, it's popping up some message that something went wrong and now you can't proceed further. So you have to click OK, then that particular window gets dismissed. If there is something you are missing, it shows the prompt window. The prompt window pop-ups and tells you, okay, something, the user to input the text, or it returns the text, okay, something is missing. Those things happens for particular and at that for particular reason, and at that time the whole execution of that particular program stops or waits or pauses and tells you that okay, first proceed with this, and then only then we can go to the next window. And the confirm, confirm is just like it is checking with you like whether you are correct with that particular procedure you are doing, and then and only then you can proceed. So this is just for our simple understanding. So next time we'll be looking under the loops. What are the loops? And we'll be learning more about the loops. Before going through those things, just remember, please like my videos, subscribe them, and also share it with your friends. And I please recommend this particular channel for those who are very much beginners in JavaScript. And please like and also tell your friends to learn more about the JavaScript. Also, I have given so many websites in the description so that we can also look into that. So bye for now and happy coding. Thank you.